for a remainder, then this is a 0. Remember, this 3 came from the x cubed term. Have I told you guys that this is called the depressed polynomial? Okay? Because it goes down by 1, right? It's depressed. So these are the coefficients. 3x squared go down by 1 minus 4x plus 6. Now I just want you to think about this. In a minute I'm going to say I want you to factor this completely. Here are possible zeros. Here are possible roots, or it might say here are possible factors. If this is a 0, then what is its factor? X plus 3 is the factor. I just want you to think about this. Can 3x squared minus 4x plus 6, if you go back to algebra 1 and algebra 2, can that be factored?
No.
It can't be.
I don't think so.
Did y'all do slide and divide, Martinsville method? Or did you do trial and error? Did you take the 3 and the 6 and you go x squared minus 4x plus 18?
Just do the quadratic formula.
We did factors of 18. If you had a front number, you multiply.
Oh, that's the Martinsville method. Okay, that's your factors of 18. You did it actually like this. Let's just see for kicks and giggles. Quadratic formula always works. Always works. It'll give you the real solutions. It'll give you the imaginary solutions.
It's so easy though.
It is easy, but it's very, I like to factor. Factoring is very, 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 very important. Here's what you did. X squared minus 4x plus 18, right? Well, you say potato, I say potato. X and X. What are two factors of 18 that when I add give you 4? All right, what's the factors of 18? 118, 2 and 9, 3 and 6, nothing else, right? Can I add any of those to get 4? No. So am I done factoring? Here's a shortcut. If you are good at factoring, which I am, don't say, well, you're the teacher, you're supposed to be. I think it's one of the most important things, if not the most important thing you learn in Algebra 1. If this trinomial that you're left with cannot be factored, it's not necessary to go back and try to throw that in the box. You don't have to do that, okay? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Just factoring, okay? So be aware of that. All you can do with this problem is this. On my own paper, because the instructions said, determine whether the numbers are roots of the polynomials. So this is what I did. Negative 3 is a root. And when I got to this point and I realized that 3x squared minus 4x plus 6 could not be factored, y'all, if it can't be factored, I can't set the factors equal to 0 to figure out what the roots are, right? Then I would do this. 2 is not a root. That's how I answered. I did all the work to prove that negative 3 was. I tried to factor it, and then I was just like, no, it can't be done. And this was what I wrote on my paper. So this was all of my proof with my final answer. Does that make sense? Can we do another one?
I think it's the division stuff for the 2 as well. I think.
And did you get a remainder?
Yes.
Okay, if you get a remainder, then what happens? It's not going to work out anyway, so you have a different type of proof. But I would still, at the end, I would write negative 3 is a root, 2 is not a root. Okay? What we're doing, y'all, is we're justifying everything. We're proving things. Did you guys write proofs in geometry?
I didn't like those.
I did not like them either as a student. But as a teacher, I love them. And we need to do more of them.
It's already root. No. I mean,
Proofs? I don't know. I don't know if he did. And I look at that immediately. I look at that trinomial. What do you see all three of those terms have in common?
Even.
They are all even. But what can I take out away from each of them? a GCF, which is 2. Folks, the process of you dividing by 2 is correct. But the way you list it as a factor, you can't just disregard that 2. You have to have it in there. So let me recommend to you, I'm going to strongly recommend, because if I'm asking you for factors and you don't write it as a factor, then I'm going to count points off because it's incorrect. 2x minus 1 comes down. Still, I have to leave it there. If you want to factor out the GCF, which is 2, I understand that in your head you're going, Miss Perry, we just divided by 2. You're right, you are. But I have to pull it out front because the GCF, folks, is just the distributive property backwards. 2 times what is 2x squared, everybody? 2 times what is 4x? 2 times what is negative 6? Now that right there, that's correct factoring. Okay? Your process is correct, but you have to account for that 2 there. You have to. If I were to ask you for the factor completely, and you don't have that 2 there included as a factor, you're going to get points taken off because it's not right.
So you couldn't do 2 times negative 6 and get negative 12.
You could, but watch what's going to happen. If you did this one, 6 and 2, is that what you had? Oh, did you go back and divide by 2? Yeah, see, when you get the factors of 12, slide and divide, you didn't go back and divide by that leading coefficient right there. How did you factor it? What did you have as your final answer for the 2x squared plus 4x minus 6?
I was just wondering if you could do that. I struggle with factoring anyway.
I can guarantee you tomorrow, you may have a little video and a little extra something on factor. Folks, if you can't factor, it's going to clamp onto your tail so bad next year in calculus. And it's going to be like this right here. It ain't going to let go. It's going to be like a Rottweiler, pit bull. Some of them dogs don't let go unless it's the right command. And see, I'm the only one with the command that knows how to let the dogs let go of that grip. They going to hang on. It's just going to be a dog right here on your hand. Stuck right there. And you're going to be walking around with the dog stuck out like that right there. It's a lot of weight. I promise you, you've got to know how to factor it, folks. It's not your fault. You have to know how to factor. Have to. Yes, ma'am.
Well, on the left, and it can be factored even more.
See, when I get to this stage, because folks, think about when you learned how to factor. What was the very first thing you learned how to factor out of any binomial, trinomial? What was the very first thing they told you to factor out? The GCF. That if it's the first thing, then y'all, we got to factor it out first. Now watch the way I would tackle this problem. Keep bringing down that 2x minus 1. Can't that be factored? Yeah. What are 2 factors of 3 that when I subtract give me 2?
3 and 1.
3 and 1. Sign same or different? Different, which one gets a plus? Okay? That is factored completely. If you disregard that 2, it's wrong. And then look right here. Okay? Brandy, if you would have had this right here as your final answer, x plus 6, x minus 2, would it have been correct? No. And see, even if you went back and you remembered how to slide and divide, and you went back and you took care of that 2 and divided, then you would have just had x plus 3 and x minus 1, which is, hey, that's good. I've got 3 of them, but then you have every factor. No, you still won't. You still don't have points taken off. It's so important, and you know how to.
We add here, divide by.
Could you? Because it's a whole lot of papers. that I've graded, it won't. Do it, create good habits. Good habits, y'all. Good habits. I'm a good one to talk. The black crankies, I factor out that GCF first. Because that's what I'm supposed to do. First thing, factor out GCF. Okay. What's that mean? So what am I going to do? What am I personally going to write? What's my first factor? 2x minus 1. What's this? Hey, I had an x. Oh, that was a typo that I sent you a thing about. X cubed, so this is 2x squared, right? So 2x squared, you tell me. Is that right? Joe, you with me? Okay. Now, what's the first thing you factor out always, everybody? GCF. Keep bringing down that 2x minus 1. What's the GCF of that trinomial, everybody? 2. 2 times what is 2x squared? 2 times what is negative 4x? 2 times what is negative 16? Now, what am I really going to focus on now? The trinomial. Keep bringing everything down. I don't care that a plain old 2's wedged up in between everything. I don't care. That's just that annoying little kid that has to run around with you everywhere you go. Who gives a crap? Take care of the little kid. Here we go. 2 factors of 8. The one I subtract, give me 2. 4 and 2. My signs same or different? Which one's going to be minus? Shut the front door. Look there. So how many real zeros are there in this polynomial function?
3.
Why are there 3?
Because the 2's not an x.
2 doesn't have an x. Why did they say 4 though?
Because they thought the 2 was a 0.
Because you looked at a quantity, a second quantity, a third quantity, and a fourth quantity. Is that right, y'all? Is that what you thought? But tell me again, Winston, why the 2? What do we do to find, what do we mathematically do to find our zeros?
Equal to 0.
Set each factor equal to 0. Let me just show you something. You don't have to write this down. This is where I get 1/2, right? What's that?
Not mathematically.
That's not correct. That's a false statement. Move along. Here are the factors. What are all these things on this last line? Those are your zeros. So I actually have 3 zeros. What's the degree of that function? 3. What's it going to look like? 2 arms up, 2 arms down, 1 arm up, 1 arm down. Which way? 1 arm up, 1 arm down. Okay, I'm standing the way. Show me with your arms what it's going to look like. Don't close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close them. Close them. Close them right now. Close them. Show me with your arms what a 2x cubed function is going to look like with your arms. Nobody's looking. I'm not even looking yet. Throw your arms up there. Go. Don't look. Don't choke in your eyes. Okay, good. All right, now look right here. 2x cubed. Everybody's arms were like that. If my arms look like this, what's it going to look like?
Roughly.
It's going to be a 2x squared or a x to the 4th with, right, see, you see the x to the 4th function right here? Huh? The w. An m, can't really do that. If you count my legs, then what degree? Okay, remember now. Don't make fun of me doing this. Why am I doing this? Don't, Denise, you stop. What would this be?
C.
Positive or negative? Why? It's down. Okay? Say what you know and you think you don't know. No more than you think you do. Have confidence. Okay? Have confidence. Number 18, you have 2 factors. You have x plus 3, and then x squared minus 4x plus 5, which cannot be factored. Are there 2 factors of 5 that when you add, give you 4? No.
It's cube plus minus 1i.
Which is what? Which is what kind of solution though?
Imaginary.
They're imaginary. So that is a third-degree polynomial. 3, 2, 1, 6, yeah, third-degree polynomial with only one place that it crosses. An imaginary, we can't even see it on a Cartesian plane. Okay? What do you think? Do you feel better about it now than you did yesterday or this morning? Get up off your hind end just for a second. Hurry. Time's up. Sit back down. Just kidding. You got like 30 seconds. I've already got synthetic division set up for you. Okay? I want you to do the problem for long division. Just find the quotient. Okay? That is the only thing you have to do with the long division. Find the quotient. Over here, what am I going to ask you to do right here? I want you to factor completely. Now, here's where you're going to say thank you, Ms. Perry. You can use your notes.
Thank you, Miss Perry.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay.